What's up, guys? Plot Armor Cards in the house. I was doing a little bit of research on Dimension Force, and I realized that I completely skipped over the Scareclaw archetype that's going to be coming out in it. And so I have yet to look at this archetype, so I just thought we could look at it together, and I could give some input on what I think this deck, if it's good or not. So let's look at the first card. So this card is called Visas equal Starfrost. Interesting. It's a Light Warrior tuner. It has a level 6 as well. Interesting. So it has 2100 attack and 1500 defense. Its effect is you can only use the first effect of this card's name per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can target one monster you control with a different type and attribute, destroy it, and if you do, special summon this card. Interesting. So the first thing I notice is this is what you want with tuners most of the time is you want them to have a way to special summon themselves. That's really, really good. But we'll have to see how destroying another monster to special summon it affects this archetype. Also, it's generic. I just noticed that as well. Monster with different type and attribute destroy it, you special summon this card. So this could work in a lot of different archetypes. We'll have to see if this archetype has any synchros up ahead. And the second effect is when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can make this card gain attack equal to half the destroyed monster if you no attack and defense, whichever is higher. Interesting. So it can just keep gaining attack, but it only has 2100 attack. So you'd have to hope that whoever's your opponent's monster has on the field, it would have to have not that much attack, meaning they must have misplayed or they had a bad hand or something. That's the only time I could see this being useful. All right, so up next we got ourselves. This card is called Scareclaw Astra. It is an Earth Beast monster. It's a level 3 with 0 attack and 1300 defense. And its effect is you can only special summon with the first procedure of this card's name once per turn. The first effect is you can special summon this card from your hand to your main monster zone in the column of a Scareclaw monster you control or its adjacent columns. While you control a defense position Scareclaw monsters you control in an extra monster zone can attack a number of times each battle phase up to the number of your defense position Scareclaw monsters with different names. Interesting. So what I'm getting from these two cards, so let's say I have a different Scareclaw monster on the field. If the rest of the monsters follow this, let's say they're Earth Beasts, let's just look at the next one as an example. Yep, that's an Earth Beast. So if I have that second one on the field, and then I can special summon this from my hand, then I can destroy the first one in order to special summon this card, and then from there I can tune into something. Off the top of my head, I don't know if Super Heavy Samurais have anything level 8, but based on this card, it seems like you'd want your cards to be in defense mode. Actually, most Super Heavy Samurais require a machine tuner. I'm trying to remember. So this may work if you happen to incorporate a couple of Super Heavy Samurai tuners. That's something we're going to have to figure out a little bit later down the line. Next, we have Scareclaw Veronia. Its effect is you can only special summon the first procedure. Yeah, this is the same as the other card's effect. And its second effect is if your Scareclaw monster in the extra monster zones attack the defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Okay, so basically, it kind of seems like these cards span themselves on the field, and they just kind of support extra monster zone monsters. Up next, we have this card, Scareclaw Akroa. It's an Earth Beast effect monster. It's level 3 as well, 0 attack, 2000 defense. Its first effect seems to be the same as the other one. And then its second effect is your Scareclaw monsters in your extra monster zone gain 300 attack for each of your defense position monsters. Interesting. So it seems like you're spamming a bunch of defense position monsters, and then each of them give your extra monster zone monsters some extra effects. All right, so next we have ourselves Scareclaw Rage Heart. It's a Dark Warrior effect monster, level 4, 300 attack, 2100 defense. Its first effect seems to be the same as the others above. And its second effect is when this is normal special summon, you can add one Scareclaw spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And then if there are 3 or more defense position monsters in the field, you can draw one card. Okay, so if I was running a Scareclaw deck, I would probably run 3 of these just because it seems to have very good searchability for Scareclaw spells and traps. And then on top of that, based on how they spam themselves, all these cards have the same effect where they can summon themselves. You pretty much will always draw a card unless someone has a Nibiru or something. All right, so up next we see, okay, this is an extra deck monster. This is called Scarecrow Trich Heart. It's a Dark Beast Warrior. It's a Link monster, obviously. Link 3, 3000 attack. Okay, so it only takes 3 effect monsters. This is a generic card. Okay, so it must be Link Summon. All face-up monsters on the field are chased in defense position. Interesting. Second effect is unaffected by activated effects from any defense position monster. And three, once per turn, if this card is in the extra monster zone, you can target one level 3 Scareclaw monster in your graveyard. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Scareclaw monsters. Also, the special summon the monster, and if you do, add a Scareclaw monster from your deck to your hand. Interesting. So spam 3 Scareclaws, use them to special summon this, and then bring back one of them to give it one of its various effects. Okay, not bad. But because it's generic, I can see a lot of different monsters or a lot of different decks using this. A lot of different troll decks, a lot of cards, a lot of decks that like to slow down, anti-meta decks. I can see this happening a lot. Dude, imagine if someone plays this and Mystic Mine. Oh my God, this is terrible. This is terrible. All right, so next we have a field spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can also only use its third effect once per turn. Okay, so its first effect is when this card resolves, you can add one Scareclaw monster or one Visa Star Frost. I suck at pronouncing that name from your deck to your hand, and that was the first monster that was the first ever monster that we saw in this archetype. And secondly, monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each defense position monster on the field. Thirdly, this was the once per turn one. If there are three or more defense position monsters in the field, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. Okay, interesting. So I could see this being used as you play the field spell, you add whichever monster you need from your deck to your hand, and then you spam three of them out. You use effect to destroy something your opponent controls. You link summon, and then you bring back one of them. Not a bad combo. Not a bad combo. I think in terms of field spell, it's okay. Maybe this would have been better as a continuous spell card, and maybe they could have done a little bit better in terms of field spell, but it is what it is. So next we have a normal spell card. It goes by the name of Scareclaw Nova. Its effect is you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Its first effect is you can target one Scareclaw monster or one Visa Starfrost. Again, that's the first ever monster we saw from the archetype. In your graveyard, special summon in defense position. Okay, so it's like a monster reborn for the archetype. And secondly, so this is the effect you can only use once per turn. If a Scareclaw Link monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So this is basically like a Return of the Dragon Lords for the archetype, which is not bad because I've run the Blue Eyes deck before, and Return of the Dragon Lords does come in handy. So I expect this to see some play as well in this archetype. All right, next is a continuous trap card. This card is called Scareclaw. Scareclaw. I'm not even. It's supposed to say slash, but it's Scalash. Okay, so you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Once per turn, you can target one Scareclaw monster or one Visa Starfrost you control. This turn, it can attack while in face-up defense position, and if it does, apply whichever is higher between its attack and defensive damage calculation. Okay, not bad. So it gives you defense in terms of you can keep your monsters in defense position and you can still attack. So, not bad. But I don't know how much attacking I would do with a Scareclaw monster because they're kind of weak. But Visa Starfrost, like its effect is its attack keeps climbing, so this would be decent. Secondly, when your monster, this is a once per turn effect. So when your opponent activates a card or effect that while you control the Scareclaw monster in the extra monster zone, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard and negate the effect. Oh, nice negation. Okay, not bad. All right, so the last card that we have here is a regular trap card. Its effect is you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Firstly, you contribute three Scareclaw monsters. Your opponent can only special summon monsters in defense position for the rest of this turn. And then the once per turn effect is during your turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard, inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each defense position monster on the field. Okay, interesting. So max, what are you gonna have? Like five defense position monsters. So that one isn't that good. But secondly, oh no, it's on the field. So if you use the boss monster, put everything in defense mode, then use this, then you probably have 10. So that's what, 1,000? It's not that good either way. But the first effect is pretty good. I don't know if it's that good because opponent can still special summon monsters and their effects can still happen, but it's just done in defense mode. So a lot of times people can still make their stuff happen, make their combos happen, even if they summon monsters in defense mode. So overall, based on the support we've seen today, probably obviously the Konami will give it future support. So it may fix all the problems that I see with it today, but just based on what I'm seeing now, I would maybe give it a 6 or 7 out of 10, just because there's only one extra deck monster. I know these are a lot of times generic. You can get a lot of level 8 There's even an opportunity for a level 9 Synchro monster. There's a lot of level 3s, so you can get a lot of generic level 3 XYZ summons off. But this, I had to go back and look at this. When your opponent activates a card or effect when you control a Scareclaw monster in the extra deck monster zone, you can send this face up for the solar trap to the graveyard to negate the effect. I have kind of bad memory, but I'm pretty sure this was the only negate I saw off the top of my head, and it's completely based on if you have a Scareclaw monster in the extra deck zone. And there's only one extra deck Scareclaw monster as of right now. So this card could get way better. It can have the potential of being game ending, as far as I'm concerned, as long as they introduce more support. But anyway, that was my in-depth review of the Scareclaw archetype that's going to come out soon. And oh my goodness, look at the time.
It's time to do